Loved ones of a missing woman from the South Bay are calling for justice tonight and holding out hope for her safe return home. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee in for Barbara Lee Edwards.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. A peaceful rally began at Chula Vista Police headquarters and has moved to City Hall tonight. As News 8's David Goffredson reports, the community is keeping pressure on authorities to find Maya Miliete.
There's no way we will ever repay all of you for your dedication and hard work.
Mary Chris Droulet, the sister of Maya Miliete, told a crowd of about 100 people in front of the Chula Vista Police Department they are not giving up in the search for the missing mother. Several members of Maya's family were in attendance, including her brother, J.R.
You know, it's overwhelming. What the support that the community has is just amazing, and it keeps us going.
It's been almost 4 months since Maya went missing from her home in Chula Vista. Every weekend, the Maya Miliete search warriors meet up at different locations in a massive volunteer search effort. Liliana Burke organizes the searches on Facebook.
You know, they're already going through enough. We don't want them to have the burden of having to search. So, you know, the group was formed so that we could try and do this. We're familiar with the area. I grew up here locally, and we just wanted to help out in any way possible.
After the peaceful rally at police headquarters, the crowd marched across the street to City Hall, where they plan to speak during public comment before the mayor and Chula Vista council members. Here we are at Chula Vista City Hall. That rally has made its way to the City Council chambers. Because of social distancing, they're only letting a few people in. But as you can see behind me and in front of me here, there is a massive amount of people here listening to the City Council meeting on a loudspeaker and in overflow rooms, watching the testimony in City Hall on closed-circuit TV. It's a pretty amazing show of support for Maya Miliete and her family who are in attendance.
David, just to be clear, are supporters being allowed right now to speak at the City Council meeting, or are they just listening to proceedings?
Looking for her.
They are being allowed to speak during the public comment session of the City Council meeting. The mayor is also in attendance at that meeting. And Mary Chris Droulet and her husband Richard just got done speaking, and it's very emotional. There are tears up at the podium where they're speaking, and it's really making an impression on the leaders in power here in Chula Vista.
Her disappearance is still a mystery, but Maya Miliete's supporters are still fighting strong to find her. David Goffredson reporting. Thanks, David.
We are learning more tonight about the 3 people who died after a boat capsized off the coast of Point Loma.
Sunday's tragedy is being investigated as a human smuggling operation. News 8's Shannon Handy has more on their identities and what an expert is saying about a significant increase in these types of cases.
Carlo and Marcella, the medical examiner's office has identified the 3 people who died as 2 women ages 35 and 41 and a 29-year-old man, all from Mexico. Now, some experts say their deaths aren't that surprising considering how many more people are trying to get into the U.S. and the dangerous risks they're willing to take. Cell phone video captured Sunday shows the terrifying moments. A boat carrying more than 30 people crashed off the Point Loma coast, sending passengers into the water. Minutes later, the vessel breaks into pieces. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials say all but 2 of the passengers were from Mexico. One was from Guatemala, the captain a U.S. citizen. 29 people survived. 3 died from drowning, with blunt force injuries listed as contributing factors. They've been identified as 41-year-old Maria Eugenia Chavez Segovia, 29-year-old Victor Perez Degollado, and 35-year-old Marisela Hernandez Sanchez.
We see some really desperate stuff. There's no doubt, and the numbers have gone up, and they've gone up really fast.
Ev Mead is a professor at the University of San Diego's Kroc School of Peace Studies. He's been monitoring a recent rise in illegal entries into the United States. Between 2019 and 2020, the San Diego Border Patrol sector saw 92% more apprehensions in the water alone, with 909 arrests made so far this year. That puts 2021 on track to increase by an additional 40%. While it's not a historic high, Mead says one of the reasons so many people are trying to come here now is because of the economic strain caused by the pandemic.
You've got a high level of sort of insecurity, and on top of that, There's been a wave of natural disasters in the region, and there was an existing security crisis in Central America and Mexico.
Meade says unlike the 90s, where mostly single men were crossing over illegally for work, now more women and children are doing the same. Many of them so desperate they're trusting smugglers with no knowledge of just how dangerous the journey can be.
You got people who don't know who they can trust, and they're ruthlessly exploited.
The captain is in ICE custody. He has not been identified, and at this point, no charges have been announced. Now, as for those other survivors, which do include a 15-year-old boy, while some will be sent back immediately, others may have to stay in case there is a court hearing, at which point they will be sent back once it's over.
Thanks, Shannon. An SDG&E employee is in the hospital with critical injuries after crashing into the back of a school bus. It happened just before 8:30 this morning in Barrio Logan. San Diego police say the bus was stopped on 28th Street at Boston Avenue when it was rear-ended by an SUV owned by SDG&E. The driver of the SUV was trapped and later freed by emergency crews who had to cut the roof off the vehicle to get the driver out. No children were on the school bus at the time, and the bus driver was not hurt.
San Diego's Navy facilities are rolling back coronavirus restrictions this week. Naval bases San Diego, Point Loma, and Coronado are transitioning from Charlie to Bravo status. That will bring them more in line with the county's orange tier guidelines when it comes to recreation and fitness centers, indoor dining, barbershops and nail salons, and social gatherings. Navy officials are urging all sailors, civilian employees, and their families to get vaccinated as soon as possible. The San Diego City Council is set to begin hearings on Mayor Todd Gloria's proposed $4.6 billion budget tomorrow. Today, he outlined how his Back to Work SD plan will invest in local businesses and nonprofits. His proposed budget includes $14 million in investments intended to get San Diegans back to work. That includes $10 million in grants and loans for small businesses and nonprofits, $750,000 to expand and grow the Small Business Enhancement Program, and $900,000 in grants for city council members to provide support to businesses and nonprofits in each of their districts.
Numbers just in from the county show 186 new COVID-19 cases today. That's 3% of the latest 6,400 tests. Hospitalizations are up by 18, while the ICU count increased by 2. One new death was reported today. 3,713 people have died in San Diego from COVID-19. So far, more than 1.5 million San Diegans have received at least one dose of the vaccine, and more than 1 million are fully vaccinated. Happening now, supervisors are getting ready to vote on a plan to strengthen the state's pandemic eviction moratorium. If passed, it would encourage landlords to seek state rent relief funds to cover owed rent rather than pursue evictions. It would also limit the ability of landlords to evict to cases where tenants pose an imminent threat to health or safety. Last month, the measure failed to get the 4 out of 5 votes needed to pass under emergency rules. Tonight, a modified version will only need 3 votes to pass.
Los Angeles County is set to move to the least restrictive yellow tier starting tomorrow.
Weekly statistics today show LA's daily new COVID cases are below 2 per 100,000 people for the second consecutive week. That means places like gyms and wineries and breweries can move up to 50% capacity. Bars can go to 25% capacity, and 67% is available for outdoor venues like Dodger Stadium. The rest of Southern California, that includes San Diego County, is still in the orange tier. San Francisco also moves to the yellow tier this week.
A vaccination milestone for Rady Children's Hospital.
A teenage girl was the recipient of the hospital's 100,000th dose of the Pfizer vaccine. The hospital has been administering the COVID-19 vaccine since late December. Rady Children says it is prepared to expand its availability of Pfizer vaccines to 12 and 15-year-olds, rather to 12 to 15-year-olds, if the Pfizer vaccine is approved by the FDA in the coming week.